everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make pajama pants quick, easy, and fun out of a pair of pajama pants you may have already for your kids or for yourself. But before we get into the video, if you are new and you are not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Also make sure to like this video. If you want to connect with me on social media, all of that is linked in the description. And please make sure you have your bell notifications turned on so you get notified every time I upload a video. So let's get into it. Okay, as you can see, I already have mine laid out. These are actually going to be for my daughter. I have a pair of her pajama pants that I just recently bought her. You guys may have seen this if you watched my Justice haul. That's where she got these from. So I have a little bit of space here at the top, about 1/2 inch, and I'm going to utilize that for the waistband. And I'm cutting on the fold. I got this fabric from Joann Fabrics, and this is about 2 yards. I like to come out a little bit more with the waist because this is actually the elastic. So if you cut this small, this waist, your child will not be able to fit in it. So the best thing that you can do is, if you are new to sewing, measure your child's waist, and because this is folded in half, you will cut half of your child's waist. But because I've been sewing for a while, I kind of know how to gauge everything. I'm going to come out a little bit more for the waist, and that's just for the waist here. Have the first piece cut. Now let's cut our second piece. So each piece is you're going to sew each piece on the wrong side. So you open it up, and this is just for tutorial purposes. I'm not going to iron this out, but normally I would iron that out. Just connect the two pieces edge to edge as best as you can. You always sew on the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, so for this part, you're just going to sew from the tip here, what would be the crotch area, all the way up, and the same here on this side. So all the way up. You could do a straight stitch, you could use a zigzag stitch, you could use your serger. If you have an overcast stitch, you can use that. I'm going to use a zigzag and then go over it with a straight stitch. I will not be using my serger today, guys. So just like to pin, just to keep it a little stabilized while I'm sewing. So let's go ahead and sew this, and we'll move on to the next step. Always back stitch to secure it. A little wider than I want to apologize if you hear a lot of noise. My windows are closed, but there is construction right across the street from me. They are building townhomes over there, so it's really, really loud. So at this point, you want to open it up. And I want to just give a little tip. First and foremost, if you're here and you don't like talking, you just like me to go through with the tutorial, then maybe you should leave, because there are people out there that don't know how to sew, and this may be, you know, the first thing that they're sewing. So I want to make sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. So one little tip. The reason I say only sew this part, because if you sew all the way down, then you're sewing the legs together, and it'll just be one big leg, and the child or yourself will not be able to get into it. So you only sew in the beginning this part here. And so now we're going to open it up, because you're probably thinking, why does it look like this? So now that it's opened up, you can see why we sewed like that. So the top part is already done. You just need to pin together the legs. I always start trying to match up the crotch area. And just pin it. And then go down and pin the legs together so you can sew. Okay, so I turned the pajama pants right side out, and this is what they look like so far. I just did a straight stitch, but when I went over the crotch like 3 times, so it's super secure. And one thing that I like to do when I'm making clothes is at the seam, I like to yank at it just to make sure. If it rips, then I know my stitch isn't secure, but as you can see, I'm pulling it and it's still intact. And I just did a straight stitch. I didn't do zigzag for that. So with this particular fabric that I have, it's not stretchy. So like I said, because she's so skinny, these leg holes will be fine for her. But normally if it was a stretchier type of material, I would probably just make it a little smaller. So that's another tip, guys. When you're working with a firmer fabric that doesn't stretch and you're making something from something that normally stretches, you want to cut it a little bit wider than you normally would with a stretchy fabric. So that's just another little tip, guys. So I'm going to fold these in. You can fold yours out, whatever is best for you, but I'm going to fold hers in. Okay, so that's even. So let's sew. Okay, now it's time for the waist. Like I said, I know it probably looks pretty big, but that's where the elastic comes in. So you're just going to fold a casing just like you would for like you did for the leg holes. And I have non-roll elastic. So for me, I would have to fold it to about right here. Okay guys, so for the waist, you're going to have to put the elastic through here. So when you start sewing, you want to make sure to leave an opening so that you can weed through the elastic. Once you have the elastic in and you sew the elastic together, you can go ahead and sew this down. So let's do that. So we are on our final step, which is pleating the elastic through. Sorry about the noise. So here's our opening. We're just going to take the safety pin with the elastic and just push it through. I have the elastic all the way through, and don't worry about it being so bunched up. I'm going to fix that. So what I like to do is just put these two pieces of elastic together, and then I just go straight stitch. Zigzag stitch can be a little difficult when you're working with elastic sometimes, so I just do straight. I like to go over mine several times. One little trick, you want to stretch out the elastic, because if you don't, as you can see, it's kind of bunched up. So this is where utilizing the strength of your fingers comes in. And I'm trying to start it where I ended the last stitch. So like I say, you're going to stretch this out a bit. You do need to back stitch. Okay. Oops, sorry, that is on a straight stitch, but that's okay. Now you can see our waist doesn't look as big as it did before, so I'm just going to cut out these little strings here. At this point, if you want a label, you can put your label on. So let's turn these right side out. So there you have it, guys, our pajama pants that we made ourselves off of another pair of pajama pants that we had already. You can make your pajama pants out of any fabric that you're comfortable sleeping in. I had this fabric in the basement. I've been trying to figure out what to use it for. It's going to be fall and winter here soon in Michigan, so this is the perfect time to make pajama pants for my kids. So I'm starting with Autumn. Hopefully she likes this pattern. I think she will. She pretty much likes anything that I make for her just because I made it. Even if she really doesn't like it, she'll say she likes it because mommy made it for her. And the same thing with Cameron. So I hope you liked this video, guys. If you have any questions about the tutorial, just let me know. As far as like measurements, elastic, where I buy the fabric from. I got this particular fabric from Joann Fabrics. So I have a ton of fabric in my basement. Sometimes I may remember, sometimes I may not, because I buy fabric when I see it, when it's on sale, and just keep it down there until I'm ready to use it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. If you are new to this channel, or if you're not new and you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Make sure you share it out too with your friends. Let's get to 10,000 subscribers so we can do that giveaway, guys. Also, if you want to connect with me on social media, that is down in the description. Make sure you have your bell notifications turned on so you get notified every time I upload a video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.